Hello, Mr. Walber here, giving you a little background on the LabQuest 2. You're going to obviously be using these here in lab. I want to kind of give you just some basic knowledge for you to have before we start labs with these. Here's just kind of some basic operations, basic buttons and functions to think about. I don't need to obviously read everything to you here. You get a general sense of what these things are. Take a look at especially like, here's the home button over here. There are some back arrow, and as it says collect. I don't generally use these very much over here. I generally just work right here on the screen, which it is a touch screen. Looking from the side and the top, this is actually the power button right here. The sensors, there are different kinds of sensors. There's digital sensors. The motion detectors that we have go in either one. It doesn't matter. You can put in either one up there. On the side, there are analog ports. Whenever we are collecting temperature, those, again, it doesn't matter which one you put them in. Any of those work. If you ever needed to connect a USB, I can't really imagine why, but it is right there. There is a little, it doesn't show this in the photo, but there's this little like rubber enclosure thing to protect those ports. You do have to pull those out to be able to get into that. And again, this is the power button. You have to hold that down to be able to turn these off. One of the big things I want you to take away from this video is navigating on the LabQuest app. Obviously, in the home button, it takes you to a bunch of options, and one of them would be just the first option there is to go to the LabQuest 2 app screen. And that brings you to this right here. And this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time when you're using the LabQuest. A couple things to point out. First of all, there are 5 apps, 5 sections, if you want to call them here, that you need to pay attention to. The majority of the time, you're either going to be in this meter or in this graph. I guess also this table. Rarely will you be in these two lab instructions or notes. The meter, right now there's no sensor connected, so this is blank, but as soon as the sensor is connected, it's going to start displaying whatever it is that we're trying to measure. If we have a thermometer obviously plugged in, it's going to record right away whatever the temperature is. You switch to graph mode or table mode, obviously it's going to display the graph or the table of the data that we're talking about. We're going to be talking about this. There are different kinds of modes that you can be in. A lot of stuff we do is time-based. It's take measurements over time. There's also what's called events with entry, and again, I'll be showing you more of that. That would be just specific entry events that happen one at a time. You can change how often the sample is taken and how long you want it to go. But this is a big page. Please, like I said, it's got 5 different screens to this app. This is big. Meter, when we talk about go to the meter, that's where we're talking about going. One more thing I was just thinking of as well. Down here is a big button. When you want to start the event that you're doing, let's say we want to record the, well, in this case right here, we want to go over the course of 180 seconds, so we want to start that process. You hit the little play button, and the graph and the data is going to start collecting.
All right, switching gears into more of a live look at the LabQuest. Obviously, I have it here. This is what I talked about on the earlier in the video. I'm going to hold that button down, and you're going to see that it is going to start turning on. While it's firing up, it does take a little bit of time. I was going to show you what I was talking about, these little rubber flaps that protect the ports. This one you're really not going to need to get into, but obviously there's other things that you can plug in there. On the side, you can see what I was referring to, and over here as well, and this is where you store the little stylus pen here. Another thing that we also have, this is what's called the LabQuest Armor. If this is not on and you're going to be going and using it in lab, I would appreciate if you could put this on to help protect it and obviously make sure that it doesn't break. Just slides on like, I don't know, maybe you have a phone cover or an iPad cover that you obviously you can see that this helps to protect it. The stylus does have to kind of get slid through right here, and then it comes out obviously the side. It is a little tricky to put away. You got to kind of pull this thing back and slide that in, but sorry, we're going to use this as a protective shield, obviously, to help make sure the LabQuest don't break. Obviously on the side we have these little things that protect this as well. So anyway, you get the idea of what I'm talking about here. Alright, well, let's take a look at connecting sensors. First of all, here is the thing fired up. You can kind of get a sense of what I talked about earlier in the video, some different spots. If you push the home button, it does bring you back to this page. You're really not going to use a whole lot of things here. You're just going to go to the app, and it's going to bring you back to what I talked about. Reminder, excuse me, I mentioned there are 5 locations, 5 pages on this app, and the majority of the time you'll be right here on the meter. I'm going to connect a thermometer on the side here. The motion detector goes up here, the thermometer goes on the side, and obviously here is the thermometer. Obviously you can tell it's 19.4 degrees. It's pretty slick. All you gotta do is touch the screen, and you can change the units. I can switch that to Fahrenheit if you want, and obviously it's 67.1, or I can go back to Celsius or even Kelvin if I want. If I touch this on the side, where's my stylus? Sorry about that. If I touch this on the side, it allows you to change things, how long you want it to go, how often you want a sample. I had mentioned this in this drop down of the mode. There's a lot of different options. The majority of the time will be in time-based or in events with entry. Really don't get into many of these other ones here. So yes, this is just basically how you navigate it. Here's the play button when you want to start recording over the course of time. You can see that obviously it's starting to graph what we want. If I switch, here is my obviously files. Here's the graph as we were just looking at. And then of course here is the running of what it is. And then when I'm done I can just hit stop as well. So hopefully you're getting a sense of what it is this LabQuest can do, and we'll be looking at more of this in class. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, when you are done, you do need to hold it down to shut it down, and it does take a few seconds before that pops up. So appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in class.